Item Number: SCP-4281. Object Class: Safe. The following photograph is of SCP-4281. SCP-4281-1's location is marked with a white arrow. Special Containment Procedures. The room containing SCP-4281 should remain locked and marked with an out-of-service sign. Unauthorized individuals found trespassing within this area are to be questioned, then given Class A amnestics. 2 security personnel will remain on site at all times, posing as casino staff. Communication with SCP-4281-1 is forbidden outside of approved testing. Description: SCP-4281 is a lavatory stall located inside the first-floor men's washroom of the Holy Roller Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. SCP-4281-1 is a sapient entity residing inside this stall. Visual confirmation of SCP-4281-1 is only possible via the 20-centimeter gap under the stall's walls and door. Viewing the interior of SCP-4281 by any other means reveals only an empty stall. If SCP-4281 is forcefully entered, either by bypassing the interior rotary lock or simply breaking down the stall door, SCP-4281-1 will be entirely absent. Closing the door or leaving the washroom unoccupied and unobserved for any period of time will cause SCP-4281-1 to reappear. Due to this effect, SCP-4281-1 has only ever been observed as the calves of a white male, wearing white-red striped socks and blue-white 1995 Adidas Worryin running sneakers. When an individual enters the stall directly adjacent to SCP-4281, within 10 to 15 seconds, SCP-4281-1 will begin conversing with the occupant. SCP-4281-1 is described as having an upbeat, mild Southwest American accent, and being prone to lengthy personal anecdotes, unsolicited advice, and long-winded opinions on current affairs. SCP-4281-1 will continue speaking regardless of response or lack thereof, often bridging natural pauses in discussion with phrases such as, "That's right, huh? Of course it is. Another thing about that," and "Heck, you know what that reminds me of?" While most often discussing mundane topics, SCP-4281-1 has, on rare occasions, demonstrated an insight into various anomalous subjects, including thaumatology and hemogenic evocation. Additionally, SCP-4281-1 appears to possess a great deal of personal and classified information on the Foundation and several groups of interest. Attempts at guiding the conversation towards these subjects has proven highly ineffective, as SCP-4281-1 seems unwilling or incapable of deviating from its chosen discussions. As such, the full scope of SCP-4281-1's knowledge, or how it was acquired, is currently unknown. Test Log 4281-1-01 Interviewed SCP-4281-1 Interviewer, Dr. M. Clark. Forward. The Holy Roller Casino was shut down under the guise of routine maintenance. Dr. Clark then entered the stall adjacent to SCP-4281-1. The purpose of this test was to make initial contact with SCP-4281-1 and determine its origin. 2:13 a.m. Begin log. Dr. Clark.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Clark. I represent a...
Morning.
Of
course, some people say evening around this time, but if you want to get technical, it's morning. Not that I mind personally, but, just in case you want to be extra accurate for that log of yours.
Yes, well, thank you. So, you are aware you're being recorded?
Of course, I don't mind. Honestly, it's kind of flattering. I once met a fella who claimed he invented the tape recorder. The portable one, I mean. Of course, his wasn't like those fancy little doohickeys you're using. No. His was this big old backpack with long spools of, what's it called? Record tape. Anyway, he tried to sue Phillips when they started making...
I'm sorry, if I could ask you some...
little tapes, but Carter, I think his name was, he didn't trust lawyers or the courts, since of course they were recording all his testimony by then. He claimed they were in league with the enemy, the crazy SOB. Now his brother, on the other hand,
I'm sure that's very interesting.
had a real successful textile business, and God bless him, he tried to get some of his little brother's inventions off the ground, but...
After 23 minutes of sitting and listening to SCP-4281-1, Dr. Clark signals to terminate the test, citing the unlikelihood of gaining any critical information.
But, the dog wouldn't give it up. The old boy must have thought it was a little red hissing snake or something. So, of course, kaboom, he went. Poor Carter, he loved that dog. Sure, he shouldn't have had dynamite lying around near a lit blowtorch, but he'd be...
Yes, well, it's been very pleasant speaking with you. Have a good evening, or morning if you'd like. We'll resume this at a later date.
Months, years even, he was working on it. Honestly, I think the explosion knocked some sense into him, because the next dang day he cracked the principle, when you combine with the closed third circle, just like the Hemet Nedjer did back in old Nubia. Ta-da, new dog. He was just like the old one, except the eyes were all...
Hold on, what? Hold on, Comms, did you get that? Yes, I'm gonna continue the test. SCP-4281-1, can you repeat that? Are you saying you're familiar with both and Hecka blood rituals?
Oh, I'm hecka sure I am. Just a little River Valley joke for you. Of course, you probably know those rituals are a messy business. Ain't worth bothering with if you ask me. That there dog ended up with an awful temper, eating all the meat out of the fridge, putting claw marks in the car door. Real active on walks, though. Kept old Carter in shape, I guess, but...
No, not the dog. Could you go back to the...
Worth it. Barking at nothing all the time, or at least nothing Carter could see. Eventually, he tore through the last of the furniture, so the only thing left in the house to really claw at was...
Dr. Clark remained in the stall for an additional 3 hours, fruitlessly attempting to guide the conversation back to topics of interest. The test was officially terminated at 5:56 a.m., roughly an hour after SCP-4281-1 began discussing its favorite types of bean salad. End log. Test log 4281-1-05. Interviewed SCP-4281-1. Interviewer Researcher O. Holland. Forward. The Holy Roller Casino was shut down under the guise of routine maintenance. Researcher Holland then entered the stall adjacent to SCP-4281-1. The purpose of this test was to try a variety of tactics to gain information from SCP-4281-1. 2:13 a.m. Begin log. 36 minutes of irrelevant discussion expunged.
Anyways, his old pa had given him that pickup truck. They don't make American like that anymore. Of course, finding a replacement for the drive shaft was a real heckin' problem, but that's what old Bill deserved after driving it off that dirt mound. Bill's sister...
SCP-4281-1, once again, we'd like to discuss what you know about the Serpent's Hand. You previously mentioned individuals who have directly dealt with the Black Queen. Please elaborate.
And tried to paint it pink. Can you imagine that? Oh, sorry there, bud. What was that? Oh, yeah. That crazy old snake lady had hair kind of like Bill's sister, all long and dark. She wanted to cut it and give it to charity, but her ma wouldn't let her. Girls shouldn't have short hair, she'd say. Now, personally, I think...
What do you want, SCP-4281-1? I'm asking you directly. We've offered you food, entertainment, and even a free exchange of information. Do you want us to resume foot traffic into the restroom? Do you want regular attendance? Are you somehow trapped inside that stall? We have a great deal of resources at our disposal, but we need you to tell us what you want.
Oh, shucks, son, I'm just fine. You Ess-Pee-Cee folks have enough on your plate without worrying about old me. It's the sign of a true American cowboy to be self-sufficient, Of course, kids these days with their phones, everyone has to be connected all the dang time.
Researcher Holland removes his glasses and rubs the bridge of his nose.
Is there anything I can say to make you...
And their chat snaps and such. Why even bother taking pictures of every damn thing? I remember when you had to get photos developed. Knowing you'd be paying out of pocket and the hours of waiting made every picture special, Ain't that just...
1 hour and 12 minutes of irrelevant discussion expunged. End log. Test log 4281-1-13. Interviewed, SCP-4281-1. Interviewer, Researcher C. Williams. Forward. The Holy Roller Casino was allowed to continue running normally during this test. The entrance to SCP-4281 was unlocked and given the appearance of resumed public access. During the test, Foundation security discreetly warded people away from SCP-4281. Researcher Williams then entered the stall adjacent to SCP-4281-1. Researcher Williams was instructed to pose as a typical casino patron and attempt a personable approach to gain information from SCP-4281-1. 12:31 a.m. Begin log. Researcher Williams enters the stall and sits down. After a pause, SCP-4281-1 engages in conversation.
Hey, you doing alright in there, bud?
Oh, yeah, having a great time tonight. Name's Cam.
Good to know you, Cam. You know, I met a Cam once out in West Bank. Had to be 15 years.
Oh, hey, say, what's your name?
I'm just an old rambler, but Cam, my Cam, you know, he was the kind of fella who...
Oh, yeah, we all know a guy like that. We had lots of them back east. So where are you from?
Given previous conversations, Researcher Williams had been instructed to aggressively head off SCP-4281-1 to prevent a rant, while still appearing friendly.
Wherever the wind takes me, you know how it is. Well, no you don't. You never even left Warrenton before all this. I guess that's east of something, all things relative, so I won't call you a liar.
You got me, buddy. Caught my accent, huh? I traveled west to get here, so...
Oh ho ho, not bad. Never lie, a half-truth is much easier to swallow. Agent Porter would be proud.
Researcher Williams goes silent, awaiting instruction. Director Amani, his handler, tells him via earpiece to continue the test.
Alright, since you know who I work for, I'll stop with the pretense. Honestly though, I'm just here to chat. I want to get to know you. My name actually is Cam.
You hate being called Cam. Always have. Creepy Cam.
What?
That's what they used to call you, right? Creepy Cam? Not very creative. Then again, Matt never was the thinking type. Big though. Big, mean, held back 2 years, Daddy always giving him the belt. He took that out on you, the little bastard. Him and his gang.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you've got plenty of stories about...
Creepy Cam. Always reading those big old books, dressing in black, drawing strange little doodles in his notebook. Smart as a whip, didn't even need to try. Matt resented that, you know. The guidance counselor was right, he was jealous. Of course, knowing that didn't stop him from shoving you in the trash can. That wasn't so bad, though. Now mouthing off about your ma, that was the worst. Even Matt regrets that. He didn't know, you know. He didn't know she had gotten sick. He feels bad about crossing that line, even today. He apologizes to you in his sleep and then wakes up with wet eyes.
Listen, could we talk about something else? I don't think...
SCP-4281-1 creates a thumping sound against the dividing wall. 3 open palm slaps.
Oh, come on, buck up. It got better, right? Matt's off pumping gas these days, and look at you. Big, fancy science man at a secret lab. Hoo-wee. If those kids could see you now.
Director Amani calls to terminate the test, given SCP-4281-1's current topic. Researcher Williams stands and moves to open the door.
Hey, whoa there. I didn't mean to offend. I thought we were getting to know each other.
Researcher Williams exits the stall. SCP-4281-1 is heard shouting.
Hey, come on, Cameron. It's all in the past, you know. You're a popular guy now. Lots of creepy friends, right?
Director Amani instructs Researcher Williams not to engage. Researcher Williams moves to exit the washroom.
Shame what's happening to Lawrence, though.
Researcher Williams stops with his hand on the door, pauses, and then turns and re-enters the stall. Director Amani reiterates that the test has ended.
Not surprising, you know. He never was quite as clever as you. Kind, though. Real kind. Sat with you on that first day, introduced you to everyone, even taught you how to kick the vending machine just right for a free soda. Good man. Doesn't deserve what's happening to him, no sir.
What do you mean happening? Lawrence he's dead.
Director Amani tells Researcher Williams not to divulge any additional information. Researcher Williams disconnects his earpiece and microphone, dropping them to the stall floor.
Dead? Not by half. Real kick in the pants, that. Of course, if I walked into a big angry cave full of screaming rocks, I'd sure...
But wait, please, what do you mean?
think twice about not bringing a map. Heck, I nearly got lost one time in this big old Kmart off the I-29. You know, back in...
Wait, just wait.
The day before they shut down. Funny story there. See, the manager of that there Kmart had a...
Please just stop talking for 1 second, please. Is Lawrence alive? How can I find him?
Security personnel enter the washroom. Researcher Williams is advised to leave the stall.
12 horses, can you believe it? The poor kid on cash was there with a mop until past midnight, just trying to...
Wait, guys, just listen. He knows something about... No, please, just give me another 5 minutes to...
At this point in the log, one of the security officers speaks with Researcher Williams. The contents of that conversation have been redacted. After a short pause, Researcher Williams is voluntarily escorted out of the washroom.
So I said to him, well, alright then. Have a good night, fellas. Come back anytime.
No audio is recorded for 4 minutes. At 1:49 a.m., Researcher Williams' microphone picks up several labored breaths and a long, deep sigh. SCP-4281-1 is heard speaking quietly.
God dang it. Things were going so well. What'd I do wrong? People like talking about themselves, right? I should have just told them the trucker story. Everyone loves that story. Or maybe I should have mentioned... he would have found that boring. Maybe I could have... No, that's just stupid. Dang it. Dang it.
Another 10 seconds elapse.
Dang it.
Another 45 seconds of silence follows.
Why am I like this?
End log.